Okay, in this video, I am going to talk about how I go about drawing isometric sketches. If you liked the box method, that's great. There's no right or wrong way, as long as it looks right whenever you're finished. Just like math, sometimes you might do it a little bit different, but still come up with the same answer. So I'm just wanting to show you another way that you can draw these. I always like to start from front to back. So I'm going to show you how I would do maybe this one that you just learned with the box method. All right, so for me, I can't remember how big they had this thing, but it was probably about 4. So if I draw it, I draw the front first. So I go 4 over. Now, each of these boxes is 1/4 of an inch. All right, so if it's 4 over, it would be 1 inch long. All right, so of course I would have dimensions or boxes to count, usually not like this particular one. All right, so then I would go up the right number. So notice at the very beginning what I would do is I draw the very front of it. Then I say, okay, well, what's the width? All right, and this one was probably 1. So I go back. I draw all of my lines back that width first. Then I draw the next face. And for this one, it's just 1 deep. So I just finish it off. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do one of these on here. Let's do this top one here. Okay. So this time I want to do this box here. And see how nice it's like, I just count the boxes. Right? And hopefully you're kind of seeing inside of this isometric paper these little cubes. Notice how there's these little cubes within it. And once you start kind of seeing those little cubes, it helps a lot. Right? Because notice I have, if I just connect the lines all together, I have a little cube. Right? So once you start kind of seeing those cubes, it helps a lot. All right, so when I draw this, like I said, I personally like to draw the front view first. Right, so I have 3 down. Right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. Okay, 1 up. I'm just drawing the front of the cube, or front of this object right now. So I'm not going to look at this back part at this point, just this front face. Right, this is 2 over, 2 up, and 3. Right, so all I've done is I've drawn this face right here. Now I'm going to go back 3 from this edge. The next one I would go back 3. This spot here, notice it's just 2 back. And this one is just 2 back. So I have 2, 2, and then the bottom was also 2. Right, so now I'm ready to draw that next face. This one here is the next one in line. So I'm going to start by closing that part off. It goes up 1. So I'm just drawing this little face right here. It goes over 3, down 2. So I've just drawn that little face. Okay, now I need to go back from each of those new corners. Go back 1, go back 1, go back 1. Now it's time for me to connect all of my lines. Okay, and then we'll do some tonal shading. I'm just going to go ahead and like it showed in the like it showed in my PowerPoint, I'm going to make this one darker. I like to make the front darker. So I'm going to then make my diagonals. And I'm no artist, so it doesn't always look perfect, but you get the point from it. Now notice this right here is facing the same direction as this face. So I have to do the same lines on this one to show that they're facing the same direction. And then I need to pick another face to do the next one. And I think I'll just go ahead and pick the right side. And I'll just make some up and down. Again, I'm sure yours is probably much prettier than mine. But do your best to try to make it look good. Okay, now I've done my tonal shading. Notice all three of these are facing the same direction. They're all the right side. So all of those had to have the same tonal shading on it. Okay, so let's do the next one. So you can see the whole thing. All right, so now on this next one, I'm going to draw this front face first. I always go front to back. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 3. Okay, so I'm just drawing the very front first. All right, this one is, say, 3 1/4. This one goes 2 over. Notice before I draw my diagonal, I get it right to where it is the straight lines. I get the straight lines drawn first. Then I connect those two lines to get my diagonal. Don't start with the diagonal. I never can get it right if I do. Okay, now each of these corners has to go back. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This corner only goes back 2. The bottom one only goes back 2. So now I have another face. The next face that I would draw is this one. I'm going to go over 3, up 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect my lines. Okay, so I'm going to connect that one. And now I've drawn my next face. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and connect that one. Oh, actually, I should have went ahead and drawn one back. Okay, and now I can connect these two. Notice I could not have drawn that diagonal without getting these straight lines first. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more on another video. So this one will be practice problems 1, and I'll have practice problems 2.